95.3.
Will there be enough doctors for Obamacare? Chief Financial Officer of Great Lakes Medical Billing, Zahid Khalid. Sir, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you this morning?
We're great. I've been hearing this just, around here in central Illinois. A lot of my doc friends said, you know what, we're not going to stick around for this. What does that mean? And did the government at all consider how are we going to keep 31 more million happy with the doctors we currently have?
The issue is that when you have decisions made by people that are not in the business, then you have a mess on your hands. And what I mean by that is the bureaucrats are making the decisions that, frankly, the market should decide. And the reason doctors are basically tired of this business is it's not because they're money hungry. I've never met a physician that was primarily motivated by money, unless you have plastic surgeons. That's a whole different class. And we have plenty of those in Dallas over here. But these folks they want to take care of sick people. And we are, as a country, we're doing everything we can to keep them from doing that and stay happy. And what I mean by that is that if you look at the reimbursement space of Medicare, we are paying hospitals for the same exact procedure at a higher rate than we pay a physician in private practice. Makes absolutely no sense to me. The reason that exists is because these hospitals have a lot of lobbying and they get to manipulate these laws, and that impacts these private physicians. And then you have the scare of the total across the board 30% reduction in reimbursement across the board for Medicare. Now, again, you have to take that in the right context. That only represents 25% of the insurance payments to physicians in general. That really is a 7.5% reduction of revenue, but still it impacts that. And when you have physicians that are not knowledgeable about some of the latest technologies and some of the options out there that can take away complexity and take away some of the drudgery of filing paperwork, then if you're not aware of those options, then as a physician, you're looking at a very bleak picture for working really hard at doing what you don't want to do, which is paperwork and paper pushing, getting less money for that, and not being able to see physicians.
All right, how are we going to handle the fact that there's just not going to be enough doctors? What's the plan?
Well, that's a billion-dollar question, a multi-billion-dollar question. The plan is that if the public actually wakes up and they stop watching reality television because their own reality is pretty horrendous, then the public is going to come out and say, wait a second, what are we doing here? Because right now I think as a nation we're not paying attention to this because it has not become so acute that we're actually facing it. But it is coming. If you don't change anything as it exists today, and I'm not saying I'm not a pundit and I don't like to be in that position at all, and what I'm saying is I can project what I'm seeing today in terms of the policy decisions, in terms of the economic impact of all these changes. It is going to lead to a situation within this decade where people are going to be screaming in the streets saying, what happened, who allowed this to happen? But that point hasn't come yet.
Zahid, there are 35% of Americans right now that have no idea this is a law. Now, we're going to hire 2,000 more IRS agents. Heard that last night. They're going to be the enforcement arm of this. With the IRS in the pickle they're in now, it's like a perfect storm coming together. We're all supposed to be ready for all of this by, January 1st?
Yep. And have you seen the document that you have to sign to get the insurance that's going to be through the exchanges and provided by state?
Not to mention that there's talk of 400% increases. I buy my own insurance. I'm hearing 400% increases. I can't afford 400%.
Well, it's actually, let me share something, a more interesting tidbit with you. But the law, basically, I'll give you a scenario. The law is going to say that if you don't have insurance, you're going to pay $75 to $750 per year in fine, depending on your income level. So the highest, let's just take the highest number, $750. Cheapest insurance plan you can probably find is, let's just say $100 a month, if you really can find it. Let's just say it's very cheap and it's $100 a month. That $100 a month is $1,200 a year. So what am I going to do as a consumer? I'm not going to have insurance. I'm going to pay the $750 fine if I'm at the highest income level. Okay? So, because I'm still saving money, $750 versus $1,200. When I break my leg and I walk I'm on my way to the hospital with my leg in my hand, I'm going to call an insurance company and say, I want insurance. By law, they cannot turn me down.
What?
Exactly. Pre-existing conditions. They cannot turn me down. So I take that plan, I go to the hospital, they attach my leg, and I drop the insurance again. Now,
that's the problem with not reading this beforehand.
Well, it's not only reading, but understanding
No.
and connecting all the dots.
And who wrote this?
I would love to find that individual and like to give him some kind of an award for lack of intelligence.
All right, so what do you, best prediction, a year from now, we're talking about this?
Well, I think if we're talking about a year from now, I think there's going to be a lot of loud cry about that. Now, here's what I think. In all seriousness, I think our strength is that when we come together, when we do wake up, as happened historically on multiple occasions of different kind of events, then the right things start to happen. Right now, the public is sleeping. The public, as you said, 35%. I believe the number is more like 42%, but either way, it's a big number. They are totally unaware of what's happening that's going to impact them and their children. Keep in mind, our family is very protective of them. Whether you have money or not, and you have to stand in line to see a physician, that's the kind of thing we're not used to. We don't even like to wait for bread in line.
No,
we
I
never
know.
have to.
No. Yeah, we see what happens when the airlines were stalled because of the sequester, right? That changed around. Yeah, the people aren't going to like this, and they're going to blame whoever's in charge. So
exactly, and at that time, that's when change will happen. But right now, I think I think what we can agree on is that this is going to become a very serious problem for our country. But I do believe, and I have full faith, it will get resolved in a right way. It'll be painful, and it'll take a little time from the time we all wake up, as the vast majority, and we start having something to be done about it. But I don't see that happening for the next 2 or 3 years.
All right, so there's going to be online courses I can take to be a doctor. That's the need. I'll be able to get my little certificate in the mail because I'll be a new doctor because there'll be shortages will be so bad. I'll be able to get my MD degree online, right?
Well, exactly. Or you can go ehow.com and figure out how to fix whatever is ailing you, right?
Zahid, I appreciate your time, my friend. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Zahid Khalid, he is in Dallas, Texas, Chief Financial Officer, Great Lakes Medical Billing. The inside a little bit about what he thinks this whole Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act is going to bring soon.